Well, hello there, everybody. Hello, Tommy. You rocking the two belts today, huh?
Damn right, gotta rock them. I mean, it's either that or they sit on the chair behind me and not being able to be seen.
Yeah, dude. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of belts flying around everywhere, like on this episode of NXT, and now you. There's a lot of champions on this episode of NXT, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then you've got that shocking ending that we'll talk about.
Yeah. We got a couple title matches that happened on this first NXT of 2026, New Year's Evil, and I gotta say, it was a crazy ass show, dude. I was hooked, man. They got me. I really enjoyed the show. New champions were crowned, and a lot of twist and new direction that NXT is going towards in this new year, especially with all the new call ups that are happening right now. Yeah, we got like five or like six NXT stars that got called up to Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, you've got confirmed that Javon Evans going to Raw. Trick Williams is up there. Jordan Grace is going up there. It's very clear that at this point, again, we'll talk about the ending here in a bit, but Obafemi is absolutely being called up as well. So we've got like a ton of NXT stars being called up right now.
Yeah, for sure. And before we get into NXT, the actual match by match breakdown that we usually do or whatever, we had three women's matches on this episode of New Year's Evil, right?
Yeah.
And kind of like Monday Night Raw, there was also three women's matches on that card, and the main event was, for the main title. That was the main event. So we still have Friday Night SmackDown coming up in a couple days. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have at least two women's matches on there. But I really have to point out that the WWE is really highlighting the women's division to start off this new year. They pretty much took over the entire episode of Monday Night Raw and also NXT. Like on Raw, we had what was the opening match? The women's tag team match for the tag team
Yeah.
titles. And then after that, what was it? It was like Becky versus Maxine Dupree.
Yeah.
And then we had Bailey, not Bailey. It was Liv Morgan versus Lyra. Yeah. And then on this episode of SmackDown, we had the first one was Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Dame.
Game. And then there was a open challenge for the women's NXT North American, in which we'll get to how the hell that started and how that ended up. Because
Yeah. And then the NXT Women's Champion was also on the line. Kendall Gray and I always forget her name. What is it?
JC Jane.
JC Jane. So yeah, man, the women have been all over these shows, man. And now that SmackDown is a 3 hour show, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have maybe what two or maybe even three women's matches. And I mean, that's nothing bad or anything, but I just think that's a pretty interesting way to kick off the new year, and good for the women's division that they're really being used a lot on these shows is something that I really noticed.
Yeah, I mean, last year it was a whole lot of mainly men's matches, if I'm being completely honest here. But the start of this year, they're just like, hey, we're going to prove once again that when the women have their shot to just take over the show and just go at it, they're real damn good at that.
And they did, man. Yeah, it was an enjoyable show. Even because I know it sounds like I'm complaining, but I'm not. There was four matches, right? Three of them were women's matches, but the show was like it was intense. It was exciting. Like it kind of flew by. The matches were good. Um, so let's get into it, man. We were supposed to start off with the women's NXT North American champion Thea Hale versus Blake Monroe. And this was one of the matches that I was looking forward to because of, the way that Thea Hell won, right? And are they going to put the belt back on Blake Monroe? And what's going to happen, right? Blake Monroe jump starts Thea Hell before the bell rings and pretty much takes her out. Hits her a couple times with the steel chair. The match gets called off, and the whole time I'm thinking, oh, if Blood saw this, he's gonna flip the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because it's what we've been seeing, what he's been saying about all these people like Drew McIntyre and Raquel Rodriguez. Like, why are you coming after the champion before the match and ruining your opportunity to get the title match if you want to be champion that bad, right?
Take out your champion. It doesn't automatically go to you.
Exactly. So that kind of sucked because I actually wanted to see this match. And then usually when this happens, the babyface is like, no, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm a fighting champion. Ring the bell. And then the match starts. But then this time, Ricky Saints music hits. And it's just like, okay, what about the match? Well, it's not going to happen. I guess it's not going to happen because Ricky Saints is in the ring now. And he's cutting a promo in the middle of the ring. And he said a lot of stuff. Ricky Saints, he went from first, he was getting a lot of Zilla chants. And he kind of addressed those chants that he was getting from the crowd, right? He mentioned all the indie guys, the indie guys that are coming after me. I'll send you right back up where you came from, which that kind of seemed like a tease, right? I think, with all these new call-ups, there's more opportunity. I think there might be some room now for Zilla Fatu to finally jump over to the WWE, no?
I mean, it would explain why Ricky Saints randomly attacked him.
Yeah.
He was being called up to NXT.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Ricky Saints addressed that, and he also mentioned that he's not done coming after that NXT championship as well, which was lovely to hear because I mean, he's one of the top guys on NXT. He has to be at least in that title picture, right? So I was glad to hear that Ricky Saints ain't going anywhere. He's staying on NXT and he's still coming after that NXT championship. So I thought that was one hell of a promo, but also really good news to hear all that.
It was definitely one hell of a promo itself. And when it comes to the whole Blake Monroe attack thing, well, her ass got booted out of the building. Literally, like in the backstage segment directly after the whole Ricky Saints thing. Her and Ava talked. It was just like, hey, I was trying to help your ass last week. Why you doing that? And guess what? Not only is that match not happening, but you're booted from the building. Good luck. So that's why it ended up being an open challenge, like what I brought up at the beginning. And when it comes to Ricky, honestly, I'm glad that he's not going to stop going after that NXT title, especially since his reign was so good before Obafemi came back. Like, it really was. So I honestly would not mind having Ricky Saints be 2-time NXT champion.
Yeah, and we're going to talk more about that. After what we saw, the ending of NXT. I have a lot of questions that need clearing up, and hopefully we can get some answers by the end of this episode. But yeah, the first official match, this was supposed to be the second match on the card, but it turned out to be the first match of the card, was Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Dame. This was one of the matches that I was just like, yeah, I'm not really too sold on this one because I'm just not really big on Tatum Paxley. Izzy Dame is really good. I mean, I've said that from the beginning. However, this match turned out to be a lot better than I expected. Like, this wasn't for no title. This was like just two women that made me believe that don't really like each other at all. And they were just fighting like straight up. It felt like it had that big fight feel to me. I enjoyed it. There was a couple spots that I felt like Tatum Paxley fucked up, but I'm not gonna get too picky about it because the rest of the match was really good. Izzy Dame continues to. I think she's gonna be called up sooner than later. I know we're getting all these call-ups now, but Izzy Dame is so good. Like she's aggressive. Her strikes look good. I mean, she's got size. I don't know what she's doing on NXT still, but yeah, maybe we'll see what happens next with her now that Tatum Paxley pretty much defeated Izzy Dame. So I think this is the end of this feud, especially after this isn't the first time Izzy Dame wrestled on this episode either. She had a second match, which we'll get into later on, but man, this match was crazy between these two.
I told you, Tatum is crazy when she needs to be. And with this match, she definitely proved that. And you actually got into it. So
Yeah, big
there's
time.
that. You actually got into
It was really
that
good.
involving Tatum Paxley, my girl. So,
Yeah.
like, she definitely proved that. And with her winning, I'm so happy with that. But we're going to get into that whole North American stuff with Izzy Dame. But
Yeah.
I actually don't think this is over because of what we're about to get into.
Interesting. All right. The second match was Kendall Gray versus JC Jane, right? Okay, I got it right that time. Okay. This was for the women's NXT championship. Kendall Gray, is she still the Evolve champion? Kendall Gray, because I don't think I saw her carry her Evolve championship belt out to this match. Maybe you can help confirm that, Tommy, because I don't really remember.
What now? Sorry.
Is Kendall Gray still the Evolve champion?
Yes.
Okay, because did she walk out with her championship belt from Evolve tonight?
Yes, she did.
Not tonight. Last night when the show went down, but
yes, she did.
Yeah, I was pretty convinced that Kendall Gray was going to win this thing because of all the momentum she's been getting lately from the fans. You know, the fans are getting behind her. She won the Iron Survivor Women's Challenge, and she's small, but she's really, really good. She's really fast, and she proved that again on this match right here, man. She almost got it. And another great match, dude. Fuck, man, it was crazy. I was hooked. They got me. Um, Again, they beat the crap out of each other. Both of these women look really good. I thought there was a spot where JC Jane rocked the shit out of Kendall Gray with that knee. Oh my gosh, she potatoed the fuck out of her. That shit was brutal. But I just gave me more respect for Kendall Gray because she just shook it off and she just continued the match like it was nothing. You know, she could have easily been knocked out from that shit, you know, and she didn't change her speed, her intensity after that. It was just like, all right, let's get right back to it. So another great match, I got to say, Tommy.
It was a great match, but the biggest thing is the fact that what happened was exactly what I thought would happen. The biggest issue when you're dealing with a faction, especially a heel faction like Fatal Influence, is we all know what's going to happen during the match, which is it's going to end up being a glorified handicap match without the ref even knowing. So that was really Kendall Gray's biggest hurdle that she had to go through. And she almost had it. She almost went completely over it. But it still wasn't fully there. So that was really her only issue, is the fact that those other two were still there at ringside.
Yeah, if it wasn't for those meddling kids out there on the ringside by Fatal Influence, but it protects Kendall Gray. Still, she lost, but she looked good. She looked strong. And that added more excitement to the match, having all that extra shenanigans go down outside the ring, you know. Um, yeah, man, for a championship match, this match had it all, man. I really really enjoyed it. It was really fucking good. They killed it, I thought, if I'm being honest. All right, what do we got next?
The Women's
Okay.
American Championship, the Open Challenge.
Yes, the continuation of the match that was canceled at the opening of the match. Thea Hale, even though she was beat up from the chair shots by Blake Monroe, she wanted to go out there and defend the title to prove to everyone that she's a fighting champion. Some people might say that's dumb, um, but I thought that's exactly what she needed to do, because we kind of talked about this before. Remember, Tommy? We said that, if Thea Hale wrestles Blake Monroe for this championship again, she's gonna have to beat Blake Monroe, because if Blake Monroe just beats Thea Hale, then they're just gonna be like, oh well, Thea Hale wasn't supposed to be champion anyway. It kind of makes Thea Hale look kind of dumb. And people weren't happy about my comments when I said that, like usual. And they were like, oh, you just like to complain. And I'm like, no, it just makes Blake Monroe like, hey, you were never supposed to. It makes her look dumb too, because it was like, hey, you fucked up too. You weren't supposed to lose a championship. So let's put it back on you again, is the feeling that I was getting. So when I saw that Thea Hale was going to defend versus somebody else, and then we saw she did the open challenge. She's the first girl out here, gets a title shot. All the women run out. Tatum Paxley comes out with their fucking chainsaw. I can't believe in 2026 we're seeing chainsaws on NXT. Clears the way out of everyone, but Izzy Dame takes advantage. She shows up from behind and steals the opportunity from Tatum Paxley. So now we have an official match. Thea Hale versus Izzy Dame. This match didn't have to be like a super long match because Thea Hale was beat up. Izzy Dame had wrestled earlier in the show. So they're both tired. They're both weak. This was going to be a quick match, but you don't know which way this thing is going to go. So this whole entire thing was also pretty fucking exciting, man. I was just like all for this, dude. And I really liked the outcome, but what did you think, Tommy?
I love Thea Hill. I really do. But I feel like she should have listened to Ava. Earlier on, before this open challenge, and she full blown said, hey, I want this open challenge. It was her, Ava, and Jordan Grace were in the back at medical. I feel like she should have listened to Ava, because what Ava said is, hey, you will still have your title match, but we're just going to postpone it until you are 100%. But she still decided to go, no, that's not happening. I'm going out there and defending it. In which, good on her. That's still great. But I feel like this match, as much as it didn't really need to be that long, in which it really wasn't, my thing about it is I feel like this match would have been better if she was at 100%. Because yes, Izzy herself was a little bit exhausted here and there because of the match that she had before, but she was still way closer to 100% than Thea Hill was. So I feel like if they were more even on that level, this match probably would have been even better than it was.
Oh, come on, Tommy. You're starting to sound like the fucking announcer from NXT who just glazes everyone. What's his name? Not Booker T, the other guy.
I can't remember for the life of me what the hell his name.
Bro, Thea Hale got beat up for like 30 seconds by Blake Monroe, and Izzy Dame was in a competitive wrestling match for like 15 minutes, and she still won.
Yeah, but I still feel like that she took a whole lot more damage than Izzy did.
Nah, that's That's fake news, Tommy. You're spreading lies, bro.
This fake
Izzy Dame
you
wrestled 2 times tonight.
metal stairs and then smacked with a chair.
Yeah, well, Izzy Dame took a lot more than that. I'll tell you that. But we got a new North American champion. Thea Hale, even though she lost the championship, I still feel like she still got over with the fans. You know, she didn't give up. She wanted to defend no matter what. Um, and I think that as long as she didn't lose it to Blake Monroe, I think that right there was the thing that probably would have ruined this whole thing for me. Like, because again, oh, we're just gonna correct our mistake, and Blake Monroe was supposed to be champion anyway. It was a feeling that I was gonna get if Thea Hale lost it to her again. You know, it's just kind of like, okay, well, now we're just back where we started, back to square one. Forget everything else that happened. But no, instead they're like, okay, we're gonna do this this injury angle. We're gonna get rid of Blake Monroe. She's kicked out of the building. And we're gonna do an open challenge instead. It was just unexpected and it worked. It worked, I thought. I thought it was perfect.
And my reasoning behind saying that Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley ain't done yet, at least under my thought process, is what happened when Izzy Dame first got into the ring. Big boot to Thea Hill, and then immediately goes to the ring on the side that Tatum Paxley is on, stares her down and just waves, knowing the fact that she took that spot from Tatum. That if Izzy wasn't there, Tatum would have been in there. So
Yeah.
that is the main reason why I think that this ain't done yet between the two of them.
I'm afraid you're right. Unfortunately, that feud is definitely going to continue. But Izzy Dame being North American champion, I mean, like I said, she's really good. It makes sense to put a championship on her. Now we're going to see more of Izzy Dame on TV. She's going to be wrestling other women, hopefully, other than Tatum Paxley. I mean, we saw all those women come out there, right, trying to get the title shot, the open challenge. So those could all be potential challengers for Izzy Dame. I don't remember who came out, who was all out there, but I know one of them was like Nikita Lyons. I don't know how. I haven't seen her wrestle in a long time. I don't know if she's got any better. Huh?
Because she's been on Evolve.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. She needed something else.
Her and God, I cannot remember for the life of me what her name is. I know they said her name when they saw her, but her original gimmick was like this spooky doll character, always came out with a pillow. I cannot remember.
Oh, that was horrible.
What her name is.
I can't remember her name because it was so bad, but I'm glad they got rid of that.
But I know that she was there as well, in which she's been wrestling on Wendy Chu. That's who it is. She's been wrestling on Evolve as well. So clearly, when they're not using them on NXT, they're putting them down in Evolve and still using them.
Well, yeah, because Evolve is not on a fucking worldwide channel. I don't know if CW is considered like cable or whatever, or network TV, but yeah, put women, because like I remember seeing those Nikita Lion matches way back when, and it was not it was not working. So I'm glad that some of these women are being sent to Evolve so they can evolve, you know, like fuck. So yeah, man. I'm glad Izzy Dame is North American champion because what the fuck, man? I mean, it doesn't take a fucking genius to see how good she is. I think we have the next challenger for Ethan Page. for his North American champion, the men's North American champion. Ethan Page is the GOAT, okay? He said it earlier on the show. He has like 12 title defenses, successful title defenses, not counting main event shows, Tommy. How about that?
It's not surprising, but what Ava did end up correcting him on is the fact that he's not the only one in that top spot as well when it comes to that amount of title defenses.
He is in my heart.
Well, there's a couple others. I don't think one is Obafemi, but I'm pretty sure he would still be up there on the list.
Yeah, I forgot the other names that they said, that Ava said, besides, oh no, Dom was one.
Yeah.
Did he say Dom? Dom, how many title defenses? He has been champion for a long time, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah, Dom was one.
It was Stephanie Vaquer, Dom, and then there was one other.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that one up, because I'm interested now. So they did this thing where Ethan Page comes out, he cuts a promo, and then he gets interrupted by everyone and their mamas. You know, first is Jasper Troy, the speed champion. He interrupts Ethan Page, and then it's like the fucking biker guy that bores the crap out of me. I forget his name. Who's the guy that wrestled Tavion Heights recently that beat him?
I cannot remember for the life of me what his name is either.
Yeah, see, it was
his entrance is smoke coming from jackets, and that's it.
Yeah, that guy is just whatever. And then all these people that they're from NXT, but we don't really see them a whole lot. They're like NXT mid-carders, you can say. So, I mean, they're kind of just there. And then Tavion Heights came out. And then the guy that got the best pop was the new guy, the toothless guy. What's his name?
That is, oh God, it's on
Shiloh something.
Shiloh Hill.
Shiloh Hill. As soon as his music hit, the fans in the performance center popped, right? And I'm thinking, holy shit, man, because I've been seeing those video packages. They've been giving him a lot of TV time to get himself over, where he's sitting in his room in front of his computer, just telling stories about himself, random fucking stories, like out of nowhere. He's just sitting there just telling us about his life. And I'm just like, bro, no one gives a fuck.
It's a get to know me thing. That's what it is.
Yeah, but what I was going with this is that it's actually working. Like, the people were happy to see him, because they're like, okay, we kind of know who this guy is now. Like, we know his story. You know, he's funny, you know, and he's a little bit crazy apparently every now and then if you piss him off enough. The NXT fans were all for this Shiloh Hill guy, which I thought the promos were whatever. I thought they were kind of lame, but the people fucking love this guy. I'm like, what the hell? So all these guys that are in the ring, it's like 4 or 5 guys that are in the ring. They all start beating each other up. And then this is the type of shit that's getting this guy over, Shiloh Hill. Stax' girlfriend, Santino's daughter, is out there. She tries to slap him. He grabs her arm, stops the slap, right?
Starts dancing with her.
Yeah, does this dance, and then, like, what's the word where you kind of like, he like bows her down?
Yeah,
like,
right as he dips her is what it's called.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, his damn tooth falls right out of his mouth.
Yeah, his fake tooth, his fake what's the word? It's like what old people use when they don't have teeth. The molars? Is it what?
Dentures?
Yes, that. His fucking denture fell out on top of her, which was a hilarious moment. So that's the type of shit that is getting this guy over, you know. And I haven't seen him wrestle yet, but I mean, I heard a lot of good things about him, so I'm curious to see who he's going to wrestle on NXT. I think he's going to wrestle next week, he said, right?
I believe so, yes. Depending on if, God, what's his name? TNA International Champion.
Stacks.
Yes. Depending on if Stacks is still TNA International Champion, Shiloh's going after that title. So that's going to be interesting to see.
Okay. So yeah, I want to see him wrestle. So I think that's going to be cool. But the fact that it was Shiloh Hill, the one that was standing tall, over everybody after this little brawl, kind of leads me to believe like, hey, maybe this is the next guy that we're going to be seeing versus Ethan Page. Which, how do you feel about that, Tommy?
I honestly wouldn't mind that. Like, I've seen LFG, so I've watched that a little bit. So I've seen what Shiloh Hill can do. And he's pretty damn good, I'll say that. But what you neglected to say is the fact that there were 4 titles in that ring held by 3 different guys. I brought up one, that being the TNA International. You've got the Speed title. You've got the North American and the mixed tag. So 4 titles were in that ring all together. And when they all came out, that in itself is a stacked group there. Except for the one we can't fucking remember. He can go away. But but still,
yeah, man.
Taking out that guy, that is still a stacked ring full of guys right there.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a little bit of what the Speed Champion could do. What's his name? I remember the guy's name. I couldn't remember. It was Josh Briggs.
Yes, Briggs.
That fucking guy. Don't care too much for him. Don't care about Stacks. The big dude, the Speed Champion.
Jasper Troy.
Jasper Troy and Tavion Heights, they're going to go at it next week. That one should be really good. And I believe it's for the Speed title.
It is.
Yeah.
Because that final for that tournament was Lexus King and Tavion.
Be right. Yeah. Fucking Lexus King.
The 8-second match that was that.
The 8-second massacre. Who do you got next week for that Speed title? I mean, because I like Tavion Heights so much, I don't want to see him as a Speed champion. A fucking Speed champion. Come on. But he's been hot lately. Tavion Heights has. So has Jasper Troy. So I'm curious to see what you think about this one, Tommy. How do you think this one's going to play out?
Both of them have been like extremely hot with the crowd and all of that. But if I were to just go off of that alone, then Tavion's got more. He really does. A slight bit more than Jasper Troy does. Especially after that massacre from last week, or the samurai guy, as my mom is calling him, because his jacket and his entire gear when walking out apparently looks like a samurai, like Lexus King does. So, but if I were to guess on who would win it, I have to go with Tavion. Nice.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what they want us to believe, Going into this match, Tavion has the momentum, So we'll see what happens with that. And then we go to the main event, Tommy. It was Obafemi versus TNA's X Division champion Leon Slater. Unfortunately, I saw the results of this one beforehand, so I kind of already knew what was going to happen. But it didn't completely ruin the match for me because it was still a really good match, even though there's a major fucking size difference here with Obafemi. But they had a believable match. They made it work to the point where you actually believe Leon Slater had a shot here. Because there was a moment of the match where Obafemi made a mistake. He injured his knee, and Leon Slater just went to work. And that I thought was, and they had some amazing spots, amazing moments during the match. Obafemi was chopping the shit out of Leon Slater, like, oh my god, like some of the best chops I've seen in a while, if I'm being honest. And then Leon Slater comes back with his own power moves. He power slammed Obafemi, which looked really impressive. They built up to these moments like amazing. It was a really good fucking match. Obafemi retained, and of course, as we all saw, it looks like he relinquished the championship. He left the championship in the middle of the ring. And I mean, we've been seeing the video packages on Raw and SmackDown. It looks like he's finally getting called up, but he went out as a winner. I thought for sure Leon Slater was going to win it tonight because it was only a matter of time before Obafemi gets called up. There was no way that after all the teases that we've been seeing from the main roster, that Obafemi was going to win and stay in NXT. He won, but he's not leaving with the title. Fucking crazy.
And here's why I think that is. So, we don't know where he's going, but odds are we know exactly where he's going.
SmackDown.
Right, to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Especially the deal with Drew McIntyre after Saturday night's main event. Wouldn't be surprised if he shows up on Friday.
Nope, not at all, dude. Look, perfect timing. What did we say?
Yeah.
He's going to show up in that fucking cage match on Friday, bro.
Yeah, he is absolutely going to show up during that 3 Stages of Hell match.
Hell yeah.
Him leaving as champion, but not like as champion after relinquishing it, but still, him going out, being called up, still winning that match, it's because of the fact that he's being called up as a absolute beast.
Yeah.
Like, there is no doubt about that. I watched a video from Alan Owens earlier today.
Yeah, shout out to Alan Owens. He's a cool dude. He jumps in our lives every now and then.
And he was going out and saying, hey, the reason why they did this is because of the fact that they're giving him the damn Brock Lesnar treatment. It's what they're doing, having him show up on the main roster and being an absolute beast. And probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he immediately gets a title pretty damn quickly. If I'm being honest here. It's like whether it's mid-card or whether he immediately goes after Cody to finally get a definitive answer on who is the better wrestler, because Drew McIntyre screwed that answer up. So I would not be surprised if pretty quickly Obafemi is a champion on SmackDown.
I don't think that's necessary, although that would be nice. I would much rather see him in a feud with Drew McIntyre so we can see some matches between those two guys. That is what I would like to see. But that's just me. Obafemi's going to go into the main roster looking strong after a big victory on NXT. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again just in case. But they have the opportunity to do something hella funny with Obafemi on Friday in that cage match. They should bring him in and do the Kane thing where he rips the door open and he's like, and then he goes in there and helps Cody win. I think that would be a fucking awesome way to bring Obafemi in.
And then right after that, just Drew McIntyre stands up and they have that face off again. Like, that in itself would be awesome. But when it comes to Leon as well, he definitely did a number on him. He screwed up his knee, slamming it into the corner of the ring. That's what that was that screwed it up. And he just went at it immediately after that. So he himself is just that damn good at realizing, hey, I just injured this man. His leg is fucked up. Let me go after that shit as soon as possible. And maybe I can win this title off of him. So him having that awareness right there, it means the absolute world with that.
Yeah, Leon Slater looked really good in this match too, man. they're really building him up a lot, man. I think it's only a matter of time before he's like officially part of NXT. Um, so yeah, and especially now that Javon Evans has been called up, I think he's going to step into that role as like the new young and exciting high flying guy that Javon Evans was. I think Leon Slater is up next, you know. But yeah, man, this episode of NXT, the first episode of the year was lovely. One hell of a way to kick off the year, and yeah, man, I'm pumped for next week. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen next week on NXT, man. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, like it's going to be pretty damn interesting to see what in the world happens next week.
Yeah, and before we get out of here, Tommy, the thing I wanted to ask you about when it comes to this main event, we have a relinquished championship. It looks like on NXT. Let's think about some of the names. We saw the Tony D'Angelo staring down the middle of the ring, looking at that championship. But do you really want to see Tony D'Angelo as NXT champion?
Not yet. He just came back, so odds are when he gets in the ring, he's going to be really strong with it. But I don't think he gets it.
Has he even done anything since he came back? Like, has he wrestled an official match at all or anything like that?
Nope, he's just been standing to the side ominously watching. That's it.
Well, then fuck. Then back of the line, bruh. What do you
What
mean?
I find interesting about that is the fact that NXT title isn't the only one he's looking at. Because he's also been caught staring down Ethan Page as well from the stands.
So who the fuck do you think he is? Like Sting or something? The modern day Sting just fucking lurking in the arena wherever?
Apparently.
Hold on. I want to look at, just to go over some names as to who we would like to see as the next NXT champion. I'm going to throw some names at you, Tommy, and tell me what you think.
Okay.
Dion Lennox.
No, I don't think he's quite NXT championship ready yet.
Ethan Page.
Ethan Page, once he drops that North American title, he is absolutely ready for the NXT title if he doesn't get called up first.
I feel like he's been NXT champion already before, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he has. Back when it was Rainbow, I believe it was.
Yeah. Joe Hendry. But Joe Hendry, I feel like he's mixed in with the Dark State right now in like that tag team division scene, no?
Yeah, he's currently dealing with Dion Lennox, in which it looks like Out the Mud is going to help him out next week with a no DQ match against Dion Lennox next week.
Okay. Josh Briggs.
No. No. That in itself is your answer there. No.
Yeah. Me either. Well, we just saw Leon Slater have a crack at it. Would you be down to see him as NXT champion?
I honestly wouldn't mind, especially with how young he actually is. So imagine someone that young being 21 right now and just going at it as NXT champion. I honestly wouldn't mind.
Lexis King.
No. He can't even be serious enough at all. Man got destroyed in 8 seconds last week. Like, it's not happening anytime.
God damn. All right. Oh, I like this one, but we saw him have a face-to-face with Ethan Page in the North American title picture. Miles Bourne.
I honestly wouldn't mind Miles, especially with how he was in the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge, and with him also being super close to winning it. I wouldn't mind.
And then, should we put it back on Ricky Saints?
I would like to see at some point what a heel NXT champion Ricky Sainz would be.
Yeah.
Because we saw him as a babyface right before he lost it to Obafemi. So at this point, I would not mind seeing a heel Ricky Sainz holding that NXT title.
And then we have Shiloh Hill, but he's too new. He just came in. I don't know
He
if
is way too new. Unless they're going to do what they did with Ethan Page, which is immediately put him in the NXT title picture, it ain't happening.
I like Tavion Heights a lot, man, but he's fighting for the Speed Championship, unfortunately.
The Speed in itself seems better fit for Tavion Heights right now.
And then we have Tony D'Angelo, which we already went over. Those are the main, like the bigger names on NXT that I can see potentially winning this thing next. But out of all these names, the only ones that really stand out to me are either Joe Hendry or Miles Bourne.
Yeah, I do completely agree with you on that. I would not, again, for both of them, I would not mind seeing them as NXT champion, especially with how Joe Hendry was as TNA champion.
Yeah. But I just feel like Joe Hendry is too far away from that title scene unless they just do like a fucking random ass battle royal or something like that where Joe Hendry just happens to win it, you know. But I think I'd much rather see, if I had to pick between those two, nothing against Joe Hendry because I like Joe Hendry. I would much rather see Miles Bourne as NXT champion at this point.
Especially with all of the advice that he's been getting from Ethan Page. I feel like at some point he has to use that and push himself to the NXT title picture.
Yeah. I do love Ricky Saints a whole lot though, man, but we've already seen that. And it sounds like he's
heel Ricky as champion now.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what type of stipulation or match they put up for this vacant NXT championship. But it's going to be interesting, Tommy. Anything else before we get up out of here, dog?
Wouldn't be surprised if it was a tournament, honestly.
Yeah.
If it is a tournament, go ahead. But I feel like when it comes to titles and even opportunities against people, we have seen tournaments way too often right now. We really need to just fucking mix it up at this point.
Yeah, man. I would like to see something different, something new other than just a tournament, you know? Because we just saw a tournament not that long ago for John Cena's, final match. Hopefully they come up with something different, man. I don't know.
The last time that we had like an interesting thing, it was a battle royal, but it was for the I believe it was for the women's world title back when Rhea Ripley vacated it because injury.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to think more on this to see, try to come up with what's something that we haven't seen in a while that may be interesting, to crown a new NXT champion other than a tournament. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we can get some clips and post it on the social media and see what people think, what they would like to see. Come up with some match stipulations. So yeah, let us know in the comments what type of match you guys would like to see to crown the new NXT champion. But that's it for us for tonight. That was the first NXT review, New Year's Evil with the Snug Wrestling crew, myself and Tommy. Tommy, thank you like always. And let's get up out of here.
All right, so tomorrow night, it's going to be Snug. It's going to be Mr. Blood. They're one-on-one on TikTok tomorrow night. Come back here on Friday, wherever in the world you're watching this. But come back here, watch it live on Friday for our review of Friday Night SmackDown. Over here, get your merch. It will be in the bio of this episode. It will be in the bio of literally everything else. It's in all of our stuff. So when it comes to the merch, we've got hats, we've got shirts, pretty much anything we could put our logo on, we have it at this point. So, all right. So, want y'all to stay safe, stay savage, stay snug. That was 4 letters, 1 word. Oh, yeet.